Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are going to look at the position based on winning with an extra rook. Okay, how to win the game when we have got an extra rook. So since we are going to discuss rook and pawn end games in detail, I thought that it is necessary to understand the power of rook properly. So what I have done here is, first I want to show you how rook and pawn versus just the pawns, how to win in that. I want to show that. But first I thought, let me explain the power of the rook here. See, the rook can attack the passed pawns. See, these pawns are away from the king and these are passed pawns. So rook can attack these pawns in three ways. Okay. One, it can attack from front. Okay. Second, it can attack from side. And third, it can go here and attack from behind. See, generally best is to attack from, second is to attack from the side, and the third best is to attack from front. But knowing all the three are necessary because we may not be able to choose during the game what kind of attack is possible. Okay, all of them may not be possible during the game. So in this position, see, when the king is far away from the pawns, here attacking from front also works. Let's start with the worst case first. First we attack the pawn, force it to move. Okay, now it is protected by the neighboring pawn. Then we again attack the pawn which is behind. So the technique is known to us. We always attack the pawn which is behind. Now see, the only way to save this pawn is to push it two steps. And now we know that this pawn is behind. So we go after it. So from front we are attacking, but the attack here is successful. Now even if the king tries to come, rook takes the pawn and king comes any closer, then also we can go behind the pawn and attack. The attack from side will also work because again now we force the pawn to move and again side check and we win the pawn. Okay. So here both were possible, but suppose we delay and we try to again come to front, then the black king may get chance to protect his pawn. So that is why the king is far away from the pawns, the frontal attack works. Okay, let's look at the attack from the side. See, right now we cannot go to the square d7 because the king is covering. So what we do? We go to the next file of the pawn. So we will come to the square f1. Okay, and now after the move kd6, we'll go to the side of the pawns. See, both are attacked. He might move this pawn because the king can come closer. Moment he moves here. Now rook takes the pawn. Okay. Now what will happen? Firstly, the king can approach and capture this pawn. Secondly, if the king tries to come closer to this pawn, then rook can take all these pawns and come behind this pawn, and the rook can be given up for the pawn also. Then white will have three extra pawns. So that will be another way of winning. So finally, we have the option of going behind. So rook can come to c8. Now whichever pawn moves, we attack the base pawn. Base pawn is the one which is behind. Now see, the pawn has to move, and once it moves, we can see again attack from behind. We are attacking the base pawn. See, benefit of attacking from behind is the pawn cannot go ahead because it is unprotected there. The rook is attacking the whole line. When you attack from the side, the pawn can move and escape. Here the movement of pawn is not letting him escape. Only option would be to support the pawn. Okay. So this was about attacking the pawns which are away from the king. Okay. Now our another topic is how rook and pawns versus just pawns. How we are able to convert that. Of course, king's help is needed, and we will see a simple technique based on the concept of Zugzwang. So what we will do, the rook and king both will try to attack one of the pawns from the rear, base pawns. Both will attack the pawn and we will get the pawn. There are many ways actually. So first we can start with the rook d8. Rook cuts off the king, means keeps it, cuts off, it's already cut off. And next the white king will approach near the king. So let's say king c5. Now see, rook a8 and b8 are also possible, but we will use the king. That will get the task done more quickly. Black should generally wait here. Moving the pawns will make it easier for the white king to go near them and capture. So see, now again kc5. Now the king cannot move near. So one technique is, see, we attack the pawn. Okay, if the pawn moves, middle pawn was attacked and now we attack both. So it is forced to take the king behind. Now king improves itself. Now pawn can move here. Okay. Now we want our king to reach here. Okay. So we take the rook away. Pawn moves. Okay. And rook check. So this technique is very handy. We are forcing the king back. If the king comes ahead, then our king will anyway penetrate from here to the c6 square, or the rook will go to c6 and eventually will win the c7 pawn. So the king will go back, and now see, our rook and king both will try to attack the base pawn. Out of these three, we want to attack the base pawn because it will not have any support from the pawns. It will have only support from the king. Now let's say black moves the king, then very easy. King attacks the pawn. King has to support. Now either we bring attack and capture the pawn, or we can give check, force the king to move away and take the pawns. Now king and rook will mate the king also very easily. Black has to now move his pawns in order not to allow the king to go to the c6 square. So black plays the move a4. Now here again white has many ways. He can play the move a3 or c4 and wait for the black king to move and take his king to c6. Okay, but white can use the power of his rook. He can play the rook to the 7th rank. Rook will pin the pawn, and here not only the rook is wasting the move, it is also increasing its power. So by force now we are about to reach the 6th rank. King will reach here. If b5 is played, then after king c5, b5 pawn would be lost. King a6 allows rook c7. So black would try the move a3, after which white can take also or play b4 also. Let's take b into a3, and now finally the king has to move. So after king b8, king c6, king a7, and now we can do rook c7 check and win. But even stronger is rook h8, forcing the king to come to h6 when rook a8 is checkmate. Okay, and if black moves the pawn to b5, then just c3, forcing him again b4, ab4, king a6, and rook a8 is again checkmate. So black has to play king b8. Okay, and after king b8, again rook c7 wins very easily. Now this time we are taking the pawn so that the king is caught on the last rank over here. So black can try king a8, king takes b6. Again there are many ways. King b8, and we have learned king and rook versus king. Rook just moves back anywhere on the rank, forcing the king to a8, and rook c8. Here we took all the pawns and we mated the king. It's not necessary to take all the pawns all the time. Okay, I hope you are enjoying these lessons. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.